Easy people, nice things here. Your Akai Force one-to-one Akai Force trainer. Contact me if you've got any questions or you want one-to-one training. And this one I'm going to say is a beginner's guide to audio edit. It's audio editing within the clip editor. I've thought of different ways of trying to approach this, and I think the best way is I'm just going to create a beat and then I'm going to edit some audio and you'll get to see it in context so that you get the idea of what's going on, and that'll help you see it in real time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do launch, note, and I'm going to make a house beat because I tend to find them relatively easy to do on this thing. So here we go. Fingers crossed it comes out sounding like something. Let's go. Right, because I don't know what I'm going to do with melodies, I'm going to make sure I'll do this right. By pressing this twice, you get all the 16 levels, so let's see. Something like that, whatever, let's go. 5, 6, and okay. Sounds like something. One more thing. Yeah, screw it, that'll do. Okay, so I've got my thing. I'll keep it going. I'm going to record in some audio. So recording some audio. Let's go back to launch. All right. 1, 2, 3, Blastoff. 1, 2, 3, Blastoff. A, B, C, Blastoff. A, B, C, Blastoff. A. Okay, so Blastoff. 1. So 2. I've got 1, 2, 3, Blastoff and A. Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use select and go into the clip, the first clip. C. And here's my information on there. So I'm going to play it because I'm playing the other one at the moment. 1. Right. 2. So Blastoff. I'll go to grid. 2. Obviously, 3. If you're in clip mode where it says clip, 2. This is the length of this clip. The length of this clip is 2 bars long. Because that's what I did, I said 2 bars. If I want to make it 1 bar long, I can just go here. So I can wait till it comes back round, and now it's just going to be that. 2. And I can do this all in real time. So as long as I do it before that, it'll work. Now, if my eyesight were great and I can judge it right, I could probably pull this out. So I can't. Another quick way I could do this is by pressing that and go 1, 2, right, 3, Blastoff. And then it's going to go to a gap and come back round. Here we go. 1, 2. So I can zoom back in. Blastoff. But I want it to be 2, so I can go here, and I'm back to my thing again. 3, blast. Alright, so that's clip 2. Where it starts, I can make the loop start move by doing that, or I can make the start of it doing that, and it just means whenever I press play, it's going to start somewhere else. So that's clip editing. It's pretty straightforward. That works the same for MIDI clips as well. But what gets interesting is the difference between audio edit and MIDI edit. When I talk about MIDI edit, I mean MIDI notes. So anything that uses a key group or the plugin or the drum programs or MIDI. Right. So 2, 3. The difference is with the audio edit, you're editing the audio. The only things you really need to pay attention to here, and this is again, like I said, simplified version of it, but it really is this simple. Probably 3 things. This will stretch you out, in and out, if you want to do it manually. But I always say I prefer using the knobs, and you can get the knobs obviously if you don't know by going to the screen, and that means I can zoom in and out, so I can get in quite easily like that. I'll keep this music playing. Hopefully it's not annoying, and I might stop it soon in a minute. In fact, 3. Yeah, I'm going to keep it playing because I can show you this quick. So, what I can do, like I says, the only 2 things of interest, to tell the truth, because they all do these functions, different functions, but the only 2 key ones are this square here and the pointer. The reason why I say the square is really useful is because the square cuts at the same time as selecting and everything else, so it does this job here, it kind of does this job here as well, and so you don't it doesn't do rub, you can't rub away, but it does the cut, and it does this point, it does this little pen job. So it's the thing that you use the most, and how you use it is you press on the area that you want to select, or as close to it is. So I want to say I want to select the beginning of this. I'm going to press here, and then this grey thing will appear up like that. What I want to do is, I'll do that again because I didn't do it close enough. I want it at the beginning one. So I've got the beginning here, and as long as my finger's on it, I can move this until I find the area that I want. This square is called a marquee, and it's kind of like Photoshop and range in Cubase, if you've ever seen range for Cubase. So now I've got that selected. What I can do, if I press up at the top here, anywhere at the top, it's going to cut this section out. So instead of me having to slice here by using the slice on the split or anything like that, or using the scissors and getting it not as accurate, I can have this and just press that, and now that's cut that piece. So that's cut one piece there, and I'm going to cut another piece, so I'm going to go and I'm going to cut this one as well, so I can select here. I didn't get close enough, I'll go in a bit more, there you go, and I'll select this area, and I'll tap that again, I'll do it again. It does take a bit of getting used to, but as soon as you get it, remember, move your finger to the top part, and then it's cut. So 3. Now that's cut there. You've been hearing 1, 2, 3 all the time, but I'm going to flip this round to go 3, 2, 1. 3. So the easiest way for me to do this is to cut a piece away. And the reason why I say that, I'm going to stop the music here because it's doing my boxing. The easiest way of 9 minutes, good Lord. Well, it's in real time, so it is what it is. The easiest way of looking at audio is audio replaces another piece of audio underneath it. And what I mean by that is if I go like this and let me change to the pointer, which is the other 2 what I was on about. I'll select the pointer. The top bit of the pointer is a move. So when these arrows come up, as you probably can see, these arrows, that means it's a move position. So if I move this, it moves around. Now the thing what you have to keep in mind is this doesn't layer. This replaces. So as long as I've got my finger on it, I can move it around and it's not affecting. But if I put this down and I let go, then I say, oh no, I don't want it there, I want to move it somewhere else. It's replaced that information. The information isn't lost, it's just gone at that moment for where that is. I can get it back, but I'm going to just undo that for now. So always keep that in mind. when you move audio, it's replacing the audio underneath. It's getting rid of it. So if you've got a little bit of that audio still on that track, you can get it back. If you haven't got any of the audio on that track, you have to reload it in. And there's a couple of ways of loading it in, which is browse samples, and you can do that by, you kind of click off somewhere. You've got to kind of find a blank area of like to do it. So let me see if I can, there, and then you can go into browse and you can look at stuff. I wouldn't do it that way. That's long. The best way of utilizing any kind of audio on the Akai Force is by using the audio tracks. So load the audio into a blank track. This works on a multiple amount of reasons. Main one is it also gives you a selection, and it's a quick way of selecting things in Sample Edit. If you ever want to edit stuff in Sample Edit, it's a quick way by having it on the here. And it's the same true if you have a drum program. So I'll just show you this. I've kind of gone into the weeds, but I'll carry on. If I go edit and then I touch a pad, right, this brings up the drum sample. But say I wanted to edit that drum sample. If I go into Sample Edit, it's already there. And the reason why that is because if I press select and I go here, I can select all the way through these, and it saves a load of grief. So if you've got a load of samples, for example, if you go here, look at this. I've got no idea. I can't pull this out. I can't pull this section out. So I've got no idea what these samples are. It could take me years going through there if I've got loads and loads of samples. So a quick way of doing it is by pressing select and touching that. So anyway, let me go back to what I was on about. Same kind of thing here. I'll go back to launch and I'll select that, and that'll select the one what I want to use. And I was on that. So let's go back again to clip where we were. So I've got my 1, 2, 3, and I've chopped it using the Marquee. The Marquee and the pointer for moving, the Marquee for chopping. And the good thing about the Marquee, why I like using the Marquee as opposed to the scissors, if you use the scissors, what tends to happen is it doesn't respond to snap. So if I do that there, I might have got that right, but if I kind of do it, I'll do that again. I'll try and see if I can get something janky. That's not exactly on. That's not on. So it doesn't respond to snap. Where the Marquee responds to snap, it responds in quadrants. And if you want to not do it in quadrants, all you have to do is press shift. And as long as your finger's on shift, it'll take it off snap. So it's an easier, better way of manipulating to edit audio. That's number one. Number two thing, like I was saying, replace by moving stuff, it's replace. So the other thing what's really good for you is cut and paste. Cut, copy and paste. They're your best friends because you can paste between stuff. So what I'm going to do is I want to change that from 1, 2, 3 to 3, 2, 1 Blastoff. So the best way to attack this, because remember what I was saying, things get replaced, is I know it's going, did I say 1, 2, 3? 1, 2, 3. 3. So I want to change these two round, 3, 2, 1. So I'll go, this is 1. So I'm going to cut that out. 3, 1. So 2. But I know that I can just move that into place now. Blast. So I'll move that to there. 2, 1. Blast off. So now, here's the other thing what comes in. The locator is your paste position. So when you're on this section here, this top here, the locator, which is this line, that's your locator line. That's your paste position. So keep that in mind. Another thing you can do, if you've got perfect timing, is you can actually paste while this is playing, and it'll paste at the locator in real time. Not necessarily advisable. Good if you want to do glitchy stuff. Good if you want to try stuff out in MIDI and that. But if you want accuracy, use the locator. And it's the same thing with the locator. By pressing shift and moving the locator, it moves it into smaller quadrants. So it moves it into, I think they're called ticks. It's not divisions. Yeah, it's ticks. Not, I don't have to think. It says it there. It's ticks. So I want this to be 3, 2, 1. Remember, I copied I copied number 3, so all I have to do is paste it, and by pressing shift and then paste, and now it's pasted in that location. So now I've got 3, 2, 1, blast off. Okay, so remember I've also got A, B, C, blast off. So I could say, right, this is where it comes into its own. I can now say I've got these, I've got 1, 2, 3, and they're all split up. So I'm in pointer. So I could take, what did I say? A, what is it? 3. Oh, it's 3, 2, 1. So that's 3, 2, 1. And just because I was confused about it, why don't I name them? So that's 3. Go to here, I'll name that, and then I won't get confused anymore. 2 and 1. And while I'm here, might as well name that. So I'll go blast off, and that was 1, blast off 1. So now I've got me 3, 2, 1. So I'm going to go A, 1, 2, B, C, or whatever it is. I can't remember. Look at that. I can't count the 10, and I can't say the alphabet. Can you believe it? Right. So what I can do is I can copy that, because that's the first one I want. So I'll go copy. I'm going to this. And then all I have to do is use the locator to say where I want to paste it. So I'm going to go A1. So I'm going to A1, B2, C, blast off. So then I've moved the locator to the second beat, because that's where I want it to come in. And I'll just do my finger there. And remember what I was saying, because I've pasted that in, it's replaced that information. So if I edit this now, this section, and I pull it back, look, all of that stuff's disappeared. But it's only replaced the information it was on top of. So this still exists. So I can come to the edit start and bring all this information back, because it still exists. Hopefully that made sense. So again, I'm going to do the next one. So now I've got A, I could have named that. So go and pointer, I'll name that, so we know what we are. That's A, and that's a B. But it isn't B, because it's a slice of B. It doesn't really matter, because I'm chopping it up the way I'm chopping it up. So that can be B for now. So that's A, and look, that's 1. So let me go back to, by selecting this, I'll go back to the top one, and I'll go 2, because that was the next thing in it. So I'll do that, and I'll copy there. So that's copied. I can press select to go back to this one, and then I'll move with the locator to the next section what I want, which is there, and I'm going to paste that. So now I've got that. But yeah, I've lost the stuff, but I haven't really, because I've still got a piece of this whole track there. So as long as I've got some of the track information still exists, I can always bring it back. And if I'm unsure what was going on there, I can click that. So I've got A, I've got 1, I've got B, I've got 2. Right. So the next thing I want is C. So I'll bring this back in by using the edit end. So I'm bringing this edit end back in. I'm going to bring this information back in again by using edit start to bring it back. So I've got that back there. And then the last piece, what I want. So this is still called B, because it's that piece, but I can change the name of that, because it's now seen as a new piece. It's not a new piece, but to this track, it's seen as a new piece. And that's what you want to keep in mind. A track can have any type of audio. It doesn't have to be the same pieces of audio. It could be any type of audio. I could load in another piece of audio. I could take a piece of audio from the drum kit and add it into this track. So that is how you would want to do this. I'll just go on a little bit further. This has gone a little longer than I wanted, but because I've nearly finished it, let me just finish it again. So I'm pressing select, which chooses the pad. It doesn't play the pad, but it chooses it. So I'll get my third one, what was 3. I'll go copy, and then I'm going to go select again. I'll go to here, and then I'm going to move that to where I want it to land, and I want it to land there. So shift and paste, and I've got my third piece, And then again, I'm going to shorten that because I want that information underneath to come back. So that's there, the information underneath to come back. So I'll bring the start of that back here. And I might as well name that now because it's not C anymore. It's Blastoff, but because I already have a Blastoff 1, I've got Blastoff 2. So another thing you're doing when you're doing this is you're also creating the names for stuff that you can use and anybody else can use. So if you sent this off to somebody else to do something with, and they said, oh, what's this piece of audio? All they have to do is use the pointer and say, oh, right, it's Blastoff because the information is here. So keep that in mind. So now I've just done this track and it goes A1, B2, C1, Blastoff, A1, B2, C. And I could have gone, so I could go C, where's C? I could go C, maybe, like Shaka Khan or something like that. And again, remember what I was saying about the information, as long as the information exists. So what I can do is I can shorten that and I press duplicate and it's going to duplicate that by the size of whatever that is. So S, and then I'll do one more and then I can extend that and I can go a bit further. And that's going to miss a bit, but it's all right. A1, B2, C1, Blastoff, A. Yeah, I hope you got what I did there. I mean, that sounded terrible. And if I didn't like it, I've got that piece. And remember, I can remove all of the other information by replacing it. So I'm back to there again. A1, B2, C1, Blastoff. So I go, oh no, I did that wrong. That's all right. There's no problem with that because why? I can use the pointer to move that back to where I want it. And remember, the pointer on the top, when I'm on the pointer, that moves information. And if I don't want to use edit, start or end, I can use the bottom of that and I can drag it and that opens it up. So by using the bottom, it does the same as these two, but it's your finger. So using edit is a little more accurate. And don't forget, by pressing shift, it changes it from snap to don't snap. But as soon as you let go of shift, you're back to don't snap. So A1, B2, C1, Blastoff. So I've got a little clip there. I can move that back. What I can do is I could say, oh, well, that wasn't quite right, but I don't want to get rid of all of it. So I could press shift and then I can move that. So I'm bringing that back because if you look, I was on that and then I've pressed shift and I can use my dialer to do that. Alternatively, I could touch this. So I can touch this section here first and then I can press shift and now I've moved that and I can just do it manually with my hands. So it's really versatile. There's other things which are really, really nifty and they work and you can do like Pro Tools, like how some people like to program the drums in Pro Tools by using samples or even in Ableton. You can kind of do that. Obviously, I'm going to show that on here. If anybody's interested in how you do that, please contact me and I will inform you in one of my one-to-ones. That's kind of gone a little longer than I wanted, but I needed to kind of show you what you need to know. And the rest of the functions are basic, but the key thing you want to take away from this is when you're editing something in audio, you're using the marquee or the pointer. The rest of the stuff, you've got mute and you can mute sections and the rubber rubs out on clips. But if you use the marquee and the pointer, you don't really need to mess with the other stuff and you can zoom in and out and whatever. Hopefully that's been helpful and I'll catch you next time. And until then, stay safe and well. And don't forget to contact me if you want to. Peace.